much, good Joel. Welcome to my review for Ran, the second installment in, of course, my Road to Ghost of Tsushima
Hello
series.
everyone, I'm Jason from Sucker Punch Productions. We have a lot to show you today about
This
Ghost
movie
of Tsushima.
was
Combat, customization, special modes.
Something, to say the
first,
very least, like
let's
legit.
take a look at how you explore
This movie,
the world of Tsushima.
like going from Seven Samurai to this, in terms of tone, is like going through The Last of Us Part 1 and then playing The Last of Us Part 2, which I finally got my copy. I'm about 3 hours in, and I'm enjoying what I'm playing. And yeah, like, because the first Last of Us game was about love, while the second game is about hate, and about hatred and revenge. And of course, Seven Samurai was all about like building people up and everything. That ain't the case with this movie here, ladies and gentlemen.
So we've continually asked ourselves,
yeah,
how can we let the island guide you
this movie was
in the
him.
most thematic
This movie
and
sure
immersive way
was
as possible?
something different, and it was quite an interesting film for a lot of the things that Akira Kurosawa does with it, which of course we will delve into a little bit in this review. But before I jump right into like my plot synopsis, the director, cast, everything, a couple stories I actually want to tell you guys before we jump right in. First off, I want to give a huge shout out to my man Cerberya for doing the thumbnail for this review. So I'll leave a link to his Twitter as well as his YouTube down in the description box below. Go follow the man and go subscribe to him if you guys have not already. Good shit there. Anyway. So, first I want to tell you a story of how I came across Ran, which, in case you guys don't know, that's actually Japanese for chaos, which chaotic this movie is in the best way possible. Now, I first came across Ran. Now, originally for this series, I was thinking about doing a series for Ghost of Tsushima because I was so hyped for this game and I love samurai shit. I was thinking about maybe just reviewing Seven Samurai and probably doing The Last Samurai as well because I actually own The Last Samurai on Blu-ray. And so then I actually went back and watched Angry Joe's reaction to the State of Play games, which you guys are seeing right now, and he actually recommended the movie Ran, which I looked it up, and it was also directed by Akira Kurosawa, and I was like, fuck it, I'm gonna do Seven Samurai, why not do this one as well? And now the first movie Seven Samurai did, that one I just had, my mom picked it up for me, she rented it off of Amazon Prime. This I actually got the Blu-ray from Netflix, they ship DVDs and everything. I got it from that. And so when I listened to the audio, because I was curious to see if they actually had a dub, and there's actually an English dub for this movie. I'll be real, I was low-key tempted to actually watch the English dub version of this, not watch it subtitled, and review it that way. But then I realized, I was like, you know what, I did Seven Samurai sub, I might as well do Ran as well sub, and then maybe go back maybe in a couple days or whatever, whenever I have some more free time, I'll go rewatch the film with the English dub. Because I listened to a little bit of it earlier on in the film, I just switched to the English audio to see how it sounded, and I liked what I heard. So either follow me on my Twitter, or I might update the description and tell you guys what I thought of the English dub. But I like what I heard from a little bit I did hear of it.
All kinds of locations.
So yeah,
like this farm
anyway,
that's been taken
so let's just jump right in. So of course, the movie is of course directed by Akira
Kurosawa
and stars. Apologies, I'm probably gonna butcher some of these names. Tatsuya Nakada, Miko Hadara, Akira Tero, Jun Paichi Nezu, and many more. And the plot of Ran is that the great lord of this dominion in Japan by the name of Haitaro Ishimunji, just at the age of 7, he decided, you know what, I'm 70 fucking years old. I think it's time for me to hang up the hat and let my kids take over. So he gives off his dominion to his eldest son, and from there it becomes a story of 3 brothers all trying to screw each other over who gets to control this dominion. That is essentially the plot of this movie. There's another thing going on. But I'm not going to get into that because it's kind of spoilerish, and I kind of want to leave you guys discover that shit and what goes on there, let you guys surprise. That was some cool shit on what happens later on and who really is the one kind of like he was really the puppet master. Let's go, really interesting. First let me get started into the good. The cast overall was great. The guy that plays the Lord, Tatsuya Nakade, he was great in the film. His performance was absolutely fantastic. Fun fact about this guy, I think that when the movie was filming, I believe the Jew was like in his 50s or 60s, and they used makeup to make him look old, which is that's a fun fact. I heard about that fun fact. I thought that was pretty cool. and so was this guy by the name of Peter. That's how he's credited as. He has a different name, but I'm not even gonna try and begin to pronounce it. But he plays this character called Koyami, I believe that's how you say it, who is like the comic relief character of the film, but he's not just the straight up comic relief character throughout the entire film. He's a lot like, for like the two of you that actually know Power Rangers and watch Jungle Fury, he's a lot like, RJ and the other girl, I forget her name, the girl with the glasses that was also working at the pizzeria with RJ, who were both the comic relief characters of that show, but by the end of the show, they were different and they didn't completely fill that role. That's essentially what Koyami is. He starts off as kind of like the fool, the comic relief character, but by the end of it, he's not that same. He's not exactly that same person. And his performance, especially around the end of the film, where there's this one, I'm not going to go into spoilers, obviously, but there's this one scene where he just goes in, and it's a real, and his performance there is fantastic. And I already mentioned how well Tetsuya Nakada was. The rest of the cast, like Mikio Hadare, she was great, and the three actors that played the sons, Taro, Jiro, and Sabaru. I believe those are the three sons. I'm terrible with names. I believe those are the three. Yeah, Akira, Teruo, Jupichi, and Daisuke Ryu. They were all great in their own right as well. I'll go back to the brothers because that's kind of like my only real problem I have with the film, but we'll get to that in a second. Another thing I gotta praise movies now. I mentioned in the first one I reviewed Seven Samurai that I love the way it was filmed, and I said black and white was honestly a lost art, which it honestly is.
This is Nate Fox from Sucker.
The way Akira Kurosawa uses color in this film was fantastic. There are, like, this is one of the most striking films I've ever seen, like, legit. And fun fact about this film, the cinematography, like I said, was on another level of this film. Fun fact, Akira Kurosawa, by the time, because he was like really up there in age, I think the dude was in like his 70s when this movie was in production, it might have been his 80s. The dude was old as shit, let me just say that. The dude was actually practically blind while this movie was in production. He was apparently going, and it was going off after like 10 years. And what he did is actually, he would actually like draw out parts of the film or whatever. He would like draw stuff out because he could see that. I saw some Roger Ebert interview, which I remember. I'll put it up in the iCards above for you guys to check it out. So he's like, and that's how I found out about this. So he had to pretty much draw it out because he could draw some stuff out because that's what you could see, and then tell the cinematographer where he at, which in turn made this one of the best looking films I've ever seen because, I guess because like, you know, he wanted to like, because he can see like, for whatever you drew, because that's what he could see, in turn for make us, who could actually see normally, make it one of the best looking films of all time. I guess so he could see it better. I don't know. I just thought that was really cool that he was kind of going blind and how well this movie looks. There's like, there are so many amazing shots and the use of color. Yo, like there are three predominantly color shots in film: blue, red, and I believe yellow was the other one, because those are the three colors of the three brothers in this film. And yeah, blue, red, and yellow. Yeah, I was right. And the way he just uses those colors, especially during the battle sequences, which are fantastic because there's so many extras on screen, and thereby makes the battle scenes that much more epic when you see all of the soldiers charging past the camera. It looks so cool, man. And I especially love the use of red. It reminded me a lot of The Last Jedi and how that movie, because The Last Jedi was just used red beautifully. It was all over the posters, and now yes, I'm a little biased because red is my favorite color, but I thought the use of red throughout this film was absolutely fantastic. And there's like this one shot where Hide Tora, I believe is how you say his name, the great leader that ended the time with his domain to his kids, where his temple is on fire, and he walks out, and below the temple, which is on fire, covered in smoke and everything, you have the soldiers from two of his kids on the ground floor, red and yellow, and they kind of move out of his way. Just him coming down the stairs, and the whole shot itself was beautiful, man. Like one of the best shots to see. Like that shot right there is true cinema. I can gush about Akira Kurosawa's style and how he frames shit. The man is on another level, man. Like, bro. And one other thing I really liked about this movie was the themes and the concepts and ideas he used in this film a lot. Was very, because this movie is, like I mentioned before, like comparing this to the Seven Samurai, I said it's like The Last of Us and The Last of Us Part 2 in terms of their tone. And that shows me right there, like I said, Seven Samurai was all about building people up with the Seven Samurai helping out the village. This movie is essentially about three brothers who are just all trying to screw each other. You know, it's about, the movie goes on to things about how, like that scene I mentioned where what was his name? Kuyami has that scene where he just goes in. There's a guy next to him that kind of goes in as well, and he kind of delves pretty much exchange canon like some of the more bigger concepts of the film. And I thought it was very interesting what Akira Kurosawa did. I don't know if old age just made him a cynical bastard or not. It wouldn't surprise me. Because like I said, the dude was getting up there in age, and he was like practically blind too. But I really love where he goes on about how what selfishness, greed can make people do, and because like this movie does not have a happy ending by any stretch of imagination. It's almost like Akira Kurosawa was giving you the middle finger at the end, almost with what the movie ends on. It was almost like he was giving the audience the middle finger in a weird way. If you guys have watched it, you probably know what I'm talking about. But I just really dug. Those were like just the way he tackles those concepts I mentioned before with the three brothers, and how they're all trying to screw each other, and who's the one that's really pulling the streets. It really kind of goes on to like some of the themes in Gundam being like, the anti-war myths and everything, on what war and just mankind's greed and selfishness and just the overall thirst for power can make people do, and how it could fuck you over in the long run. It's a really interesting stuff. You guys have got to go watch the movie. If you guys seen the movie, you guys probably know what I'm talking about. It's really interesting stuff what Akira Kurosawa does in this film. Now, apparently the man also had like an obsession with morality and with like mortality while this film was in production, which I think goes into all the talk about Buddha and other religious stuff in the movie as well. I think that's what that goes along with. Also, let me quickly talk about the critiques I had of the film. I was so busy just praising this movie. I forgot to talk about my criticism because I did have some. I wasn't really a big. There is like the three brother characters in the film. They have like next to no characterization or character development at all through the film. Like legit, the only difference between these three brothers is just what color is their kimono. That's really it. The only one that got any sort of development was, I believe, Jiro, I think his name was, the guy in the blue. Because they mentioned that he is a prankster, but that's about it. Like, Sabaru. I believe Sabaru was the one in the blue. They just mentioned how he's a prankster, and that's really all you know about him. The other two are just kind of there. It's really just pick your poison. Which color do you prefer? Is really the characterization of us. I feel like even Carol in her fucking solo movie had more characterization than these three brothers, and y'all know how I feel about that. So yeah, man, like I said, the only real character that got any sort of development was the Lord, and of course,
as you explore the world, you'll discover
they were like the only two that really,
they'll give you
those are the only two that really got any sort of development in the film, which, if you're building the movie around these three guys, I feel like you should label the film and just give them a little bit of characterization. Like, who are they? Why are they doing what they're doing? Stuff like that. That's something I would have liked to see, but the rest of the movie makes up for it in spades. And yeah, man, like if you were to ask me, Glenn, which one did you think was better between this and Seven Samurai? I'd also probably give Ron the slight edge, because these are both fantastic films in their own right, because of the themes of the film and just the overall use of color, how striking the film is. Like the use of blood was very striking. Like how blood is used is very striking. It's like quite beautiful, and like I mentioned before, how I love the use of color. And Akira Kurosawa uses color just so effectively. This is some of the best use of color I've seen since probably
Sucker Punch game if it did
maybe Blade Runner 2049 with the neon stuff, and probably 1917 as well. That one scene where you don't know if it's really a dream sequence or not. Yeah, man, like, I can't recommend this movie enough. And
speed,
yeah, man, like that's about like there's a lot you could discuss with this film, but I'm not gonna because spoilers and everything.
You can even select a track
but yeah,
of music
man,
from our original
I would
score.
highly recommend you guys check this movie out. If you guys have not done already. It is a fantastic samurai film, a fantastic film in general, and I highly recommend you guys check it out, especially if you're me, like me, who was hyped for Ghost of Tsushima. So overall, I am going to give Ron a 10 out of 10, ladies and gentlemen. So yeah, man, love this movie, fantastic. And yeah, next up, which will be the finality of my Ghost Road to Ghost of Tsushima series, will of course be The Last Samurai starring Tom Cruise. I've actually never seen The Last Samurai before. I think I've seen some clips of it when my mom watched it, but I've never actually sat down and watched it. So it should be interesting, because that one's actually American, but I've only watched 2 other Japanese. It should be interesting, and I've heard a lot of great things about The Last Samurai. So yeah, guys, so with all that being said, hope you all enjoyed this video. Leave a like if you did, subscribe if you're new, follow me on Instagram, Twitter, flex, subscription box below, and as always, come back for more. See you guys.